Hey, what's going on, guys? Hex Competitive back in today with a brand new video. And as was down titled below, the topic we were talking about today, and in today's episode of God of High School, we had once again another really good episode, and I think for more different reasons than maybe previous episodes. The way they presented it just really like it's time to go. Nox is really about to make their move. They went after Tai Jin, as we see in the ending, especially, and we'll get to that later on in the video. But it's time. Like, this is one of the biggest moments in God of High School, and that kind of probably demonstrates why the pacing has been kind of a little bit sped up. Now, I think the real question is, will it be worth it? Now, do I think a lot was taken away from God of High School? Not a lot. I think God of High School is a show that just has this ungodly potential, and it's all right there in front of us, and I am enjoying some of that potential that it's, kind of digging into. But I think it needs its pacing to slow down just a little bit, and I'm not referring to this episode because I feel like this episode is actually really good. And I don't mind speeding up some of the fights. I think it's good to get through fluff and focus on the main fights within the tournament arc and just in fight scenes in general. But nonetheless, I do hope it slows down just slightly, and I think this is actually why the show was kind of just getting through some of these fights that probably weren't the most, hype per se, and had the most meaning, but yet they did give us meaning to certain characters. I think they intentionally gave us, characterization to characters that meant something for later on. I think that's what was going on. So, looking at what's actually going on with the God of High School, with this episode, the way it really kind of, once again, showed, as you will probably see my thumbnail being, as this episode really just showcased how awesome these characters are, our three main characters, Hans, Mira, and of course, our main man, Mori Jin, baby. So these characters really are the show. These characters really, truly do, I think, carry the show in a lot of ways, and it's because their personalities are so cool to see on screen. It's so cool to see them like actually acknowledge, like, hey, maybe he's acting that way because he's going through something, which is something in anime that we always fail. We just ungodly fail at having characters that do that. Like, it's almost as if the character has to be a certain kind of stupid in order to allow this plot to flow and progress. No, these characters are acknowledging, like, yo, he's acting weird. Yo, that's out of character for him. Yo, man, that's not how he is. He wouldn't say something like that. He's always so goofy, but now he's like just like not even serious. Like, he's like serious in a very kind of negative energy kind of way, or an angry kind of way. Like, the way they're able to sense there's something else with their friends, like we as people and our humans do. Like, it's refreshing. It's about damn time. Like, if I say like one more time, you guys are, hey, leave a like, comment, subscribe. No, but moving on further on into this week's episode, we also find out that the commentators, from some minor things, we find out that the commentators, of course, family's still alive. Of course, he did not make it through all the fighting and action, but nonetheless, it's cool to see that those two didn't make it out alive. It just feels like it's a win for the good guys, even though it's a very minor one at the cost of losing some other things. Of course, like, well, what's his name? Seong? I can't remember what the announcer's and or commentator's name was in the first regional fight. But then at the same time, we got to take a look at what else is going on out here. We also have Tai Jin clearly tied up, chained up. We have him. We find out why the guy fighting in, I think it's Tekion fighting style, likes Jin Mori. We find out that they're two, dads, or one's grandpa and one's dad were fighting and saving the world together. So we see that there is a lot going on, and that Jin Taijin has a lot of connection probably to Nox. He's probably like the elite force of defending the world, and we even see that they're so elite, and these people that are defending the world, like Taijin and or Jin Mori's grandfather, are so important that the villains don't just want to go after them and or fight them on the battlefield. They want to legitimately fight them, and track them down. Like, they are that important. That's what they're saying. That's what the show really kind of demonstrates this episode. So that was really cool to see as well, because it adds value. Like, wow, they're so desperate that you have to leave your grandson, who's only 6, because like you're getting tracked down. Like, that's intense. Like, you must be extremely valuable just beyond power. Your knowledge and what your power is able to access is probably absolutely phenomenal. Like, holy crap. Like, who would have thought that? So also, though, whenever we actually do look at what's going on with this episode and what's been going on with the show, we're going to need to take a look at what was going on with the whole Tekken and, of course, the Jin Mori fighting scene. So Jin is someone who does not want to do karaoke or karaoke. I think it's karaoke or karaoke. I can't remember. But he wants his power to be his own. Well, come to find out, maybe you can't do that. That's just not the way. Like you need to harness power from an outside source and make it your own. Together you are one. I think that's my impression. But we see the Tekion guy is also a guy that is someone who doesn't seem to use karaoke either, and you saw him take down an opponent who does use karaoke. So I could see easily Jin getting a connection to him, and or Mori getting a great connection with him, and training and learning how to access said power. So I wonder what that power is, because we did also see the Tekion fighter turn yellow. He had that like yellow opacity glow to him per se, and that makes me wonder what exactly that was. What was he accessing there? Was that was not karaoke? So then what exactly is that power that he is using? So that also makes me wonder. So looking at the final things, though, Jin Mori's kind of reasoning was the weakest one out of all of them for fighting in this God of High School tournament. But slowly but surely, of course, we realized that he actually wants to get stronger because he promised his grandpa whenever he was 6 that he was going to get stronger and fight beside him. And his grandpa even said, "Get stronger and fight with me someday." And that's something that holds value, that holds meaning now. Like we have a lot of shows that's just, I want to get stronger just to beat the enemy. No, I want to get stronger because like I want to be with my grandfather. I want to spend time with my grandfather, whether it's on the battlefield or whether it's a normal life. I want to be strong enough to where I can at least be around him. If people aren't going to, if the villains aren't going to leave him alone, then let me fight them villains away. Let me fight with him and fight off those villains with him. That means something. That holds value. That's more than just I want to be strong because I want to defeat the enemy. No, I want to fight with my grandfather. I want to spend time with my grandfather. I like that. I think that's cool. I think there's at least, even if it's like not like the most in-depth thing with the show for some reasonings, it at least has like layers to it. It's not I just want to fight stronger and fight the enemy, one layer. It's I want to fight stronger and fight the enemy, one layer. And I also want to be able to spend time through garnering that strength. I want to be able to spend time with my grandfather. I want to be able to help protect my grandfather. There's three different reasonings within that one, sub reasonings within that one concept, and in Jin Mori's mind. So I think that's cool. I think that's awesome, and that's the way it should be. So that's how a lot of shonen and or action series need to do. I just think that's the way it needs to be done. I think there's ways to layer things, even if they're minor. Layering stuff adds up. Minor things add up to be big things. So take that with, as you will. And with that, you guys have been Hex. Be sure to leave a like, comment, subscribe, follow me on Twitter X25. And I do apologize for any kind of late content. School's in session. I'm coming home at 9:50 on ReZero days. Oh, I come home about 10 on ReZero days and got high school days, which are Monday and Wednesdays. So it happens sometimes. As always, guys, I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Thanks for watching, guys.